Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Tommy White joins us. He's business manager for the Laborers International Union. He's here for the whole show on all new Nevada Newsmakers.
Ring in the new year with newfound cash during the New Year Cash Extravaganza only at the Carson Valley Inn. Win up to $7,500 in giveaways every week. Then win big with $10,000 in cash and free play during the grand prize party January 31st. Start 2026 with a bang only at the Carson Valley Inn.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity in every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're pleased to welcome to the program for the first time Tommy White. He is the business manager, secretary-treasurer of the Laborers International Union Local 872. Pleasure to have you on the program, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me on.
You were right in the middle of the film tax credit bill that came up during the special session that the governor called. Your thoughts on why it was important for Nevada, in your opinion, and what went wrong?
Well, let's overall with the movie studios, for us, it wasn't just, I've been here in Las Vegas for almost 35 years now. And I used to also come out here in the 80s. So I remember when Las Vegas wasn't really that big and it was just a couple of hotels on the strip and the desert. But to watch Las Vegas grow over the past 35 years, and I always looked at it as we counted on the resort industry just too much for the residents here. And and then we got into sports teams, and that was a big hit. And I just looked at, the movie studios might just be the next big hit for Las Vegas. Maybe turn Las Vegas into a little bit of Hollywood and kind of bring that whole feeling here. And the one thing that we really don't have a lot of is we don't have a lot of stuff here in Las Vegas. You could pull out little bits here and there, but we really don't have a lot for families to do. And I know anybody that's ever visited a movie studio out there in California, it's usually a family deal, and you take the family and you go along and you get to see some actors and you get to see some movies being produced. And it was, for us, pushing that was just a little bit more than just jobs. So, but as far as going up into Carson City and dealing with it up in Carson City, there's a couple of things that, besides the politicians flipping their votes, um, I think was just poor public outreach on everybody's part. Not, not just, I mean, I could totally blame it on the unions, but I think it was just poor public outreach on everybody's part. I mean, still till today, if you ask some of the businesses up in the Summerlin area, or, they think movie studios are going to stop being built in February. And they just don't understand that the bill failed. So I think we'll have probably another go around with it, and hopefully we'll be able to get it going.
All right, so let's go back to what you were saying earlier. Obviously, one of the goals of a legislature has been economic diversification across the state. It happened in northern Nevada with the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, where it was not in any way a casino-related development. You had all these high-tech companies moving in and others, and it was just an incredible boom, especially with the Tesla Gigafactory. In southern Nevada, the entertainment industry, if you want to include gaming as part of that, is so huge that, yes, you want to have economic diversification, but it would never counter a huge downturn in the entertainment economy. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I mean, our resort industry down south is so large, and I mean, if you include the resorts and you include all the sports teams and you include everything else that's going on in the entertainment industry, I don't think movie studios would ever, and not to knock them, but I just don't see. I mean, that nobody's ever going to beat us in resorts. Nobody's ever going to beat Las Vegas in what we do and what the city that we have created. I just think bringing movie studios to the south, and I think part of it you would have probably saw up north. I just think would have just diversified it just a little bit more.
Um,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No. I wanted to go back to another thing you said. So it sounded to me like you were thinking, which I never saw written anywhere, that you could develop the film studios as like a Universal Studios tour type thing, where it wouldn't just be film studios, but it would be some kind of entertainment feature. Is that what you were thinking?
Oh, I definitely thought you would actually see that, because anytime you visit a movie studio in California, they always have their tours going on, and you always, anytime that I've ever been there, and I've been there a few times, you always have tours going on, and you always see actors out and about. And I think you probably would have seen a lot more of the actors in the movie business probably visiting Las Vegas, or visiting some of the local restaurants and shops. And that's just that. I think the people that, if we go back, like, let's go back in time in Las Vegas, right? People used to come to Las Vegas to maybe see Frank Sinatra, or maybe to see Sammy Davis. And now it's the public in general, when they see someone out there, whether it's a star, whether it's someone in the music industry, when they see them in the public, it's pretty big, especially now on social media. And I think getting into the movie studios, that would have just generated a different type of tourism to come to Las Vegas. And almost every movie studio has a tour. And I think, a family coming to Las Vegas and want to take their kids on a tour, take them to a movie studio. I think everybody would love that.
All right. So is the economic basis there for the movie studio industry to come to Nevada and make money without the tax incentive?
Well, in any type of business, if you're trying to diversify your economy, and you want to bring a new type of business to our state, I think we should offer some type of tax incentive. Whether it's going to be an initiative, whether it's going to be passed by legislature, but we should offer, especially if we're bringing a new industry into Las Vegas, or into our state. Whether the movie studio was going to make money off a tourist by visiting, That would have been up to them.
Well, actually, I mean the big picture. I mean making movies, the whole deal, not just the tourism part, if that came to be, but I mean just the movie studios themselves being in Nevada. Because when we talk about economic development, we talk about relatively inexpensive land, lack of regulation, especially by comparison with California. We look at relatively low energy costs. So we have a lot of things going for us that are not necessarily available elsewhere, and close enough to Southern California that there could be a huge benefit for those companies.
No, I totally agree with that, and I think that's the benefit of bringing them here. When we looked at the numbers up in Carson City, and I looked at the if I how do I say this? When we put something together, I mean, although I'm a union leader, right? I always have a tendency to look outside that union leadership box, right? And when you put a project together, you kind of look at everything that's going on around that project, right? What type of development is going to go on around that project? And I think putting the movie studios up in Summerlin, and I was very happy that they chose Summerlin instead of way out south, because if whenever you build something out south, that kind of stops the traffic from coming in all the way into downtown. So the Summerlin's pretty much central now in our city. So I think you would have created a lot of business going up into the Summerlin area. You would have had a lot of small businesses. You probably would have seen a lot of new restaurants open up, or whether it was bars, restaurants. I think that area just would have been built up. It would have increased the value of the homes up there. In no way am I saying by bringing the movie studios to Las Vegas are we trying to create another California. By no way at all. I'm just saying by bringing the movie studios to Las Vegas, we would have diversified our economy a little bit more than what it is now. We would have been able to look at a whole different type of how would I say it? A whole different type of I don't know. It's when I look at the movie studios, I don't look at I look at something a lot bigger than what everybody just thinks. Oh, that's just going to be a movie studio. I look at everything else that goes on around it. You get the stars, you get the actors, you get maybe we'd wind up having some of these big the Golden Globe Awards here. We'd have the Oscars here. Maybe we'd be bringing a little bit of all of that to Las Vegas, and that just changes. That just creates more diversity in our economy. And anytime you create diversity, you create jobs. And I look at Las Vegas, being here as long as I have, watching the strip being built, being part of the strip. Movie studios would have created a legacy for a lot of the workers that would have built it, the same as it did when we built Allegiant Stadium, the same as it did when we built a lot of these resorts. I mean, it's for me being in construction, and you drive down Las Vegas Boulevard and you look at all the resorts that I have been part of, and my union has been part of, you know that you have been part of building Las Vegas. And there's nothing better than someone's legacy. And this goes for everyone, from the everyday janitor that's out there, doing work in the hotels, to the guy that's sweeping up the streets, to the waitresses in the hotels. This is part of their legacy. They were part of building this city. And I think building movie studios would have generated that much more for someone to turn around and say, I was part of that.
All right, let's take a break. Lots of things to pick up on in our conversation, talking about the movie studios, and we'll be right back with Tommy White after this timeout.
is bringing new ways to win big during the $175,000 Winter Wonderland giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $20,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Tommy White. He is the business manager, secretary-treasurer of the Labor's International Union, Local 872, based out of Las Vegas. We're talking about the film tax credit bill that failed in the special session. But as we're talking, it looks very obvious that it's going to come back again. You mentioned Summerlin as the place, the location that you would like to see it. Of course, there were two competing bids, one that was based at UNLV and the one that you were supporting that was based up in Summerlin. The one UNLV has now ceased. They are no longer moving forward with that. But in a way, it seemed like that was a more saleable thing, having the university involved, and especially with people like Bo Bernhard, who are such an exciting, creative people with Blackfire and all the rest that's going on there. That seems like it would have been more saleable. And then you also had Brian Sandoval, president of UNR, former governor, coming in and hoping to get a piece of the action for Northern Nevada as well. What were your thoughts on the UNLV? I know you were supporting the Summerlin one, but what were your thoughts on why UNLV wasn't the place beyond the traffic situation?
I don't think that UNLV just wasn't the place. I think there was in the bill that failed, everybody, I'll use terminology that you just used. Everybody would have got a piece of the action. Northern Nevada would have got their piece. UNLV would have got their piece. I just don't think. I think putting the movie studios close to our university, just my opinion. I just believe that would have been more of a hassle than what anybody would have liked to deal with. And it's not because it would have been more of the location of where it was going. You do have a lot of traffic down on Maryland Parkway. You do have a lot of traffic within that whole corridor. I just believe having it up in Summerlin, which just would have taken it to a different part of the city. Not that I was against it going down by the university. I just think putting it down in the center down there would have just created a much bigger headache than what we wanted.
I spoke on this program because we dealt with this topic quite a bit during the session. And I'm sorry we didn't invite you personally to come on the program then, but I won't make that mistake again. But one of the things I suggested was that we should have invited Tyler Perry to come and talk to the legislature, because nobody knows more about making movies and tax credits than Tyler Perry and his incredible success in Georgia. But even he is cutting back. And of course, as you know, Senator Titus was able to get members of the legislature out of Georgia to testify toward this as well. But when you look at the movie industry, doesn't it concern you with all the cutbacks and all the cutthroat action, not only in this country, but in Canada as well, for getting movies shot in different locations, that this might not have been the most rock solid business to try and bring to Nevada?
So I actually think Las Vegas, if you look at the other areas, Georgia, and you look at the other areas, Canada, wherever they put some of the movie studios, we're a different animal than all those other places. I mean, we have a lot of tourists that come in here for our resorts. We have a lot of tourists that I mean, it's a different animal. I think Las Vegas being as big as it is, and being what it's about, I just think the movie studio would have fit us a little bit better, probably a lot better, than any of those other areas, Canada or Georgia. Not taking away anything from those different studios, but I think Las Vegas just had more to offer because what Las Vegas is about. Now, we have plenty of area in our state where we could have filmed movies. And believe me, I thought a lot about that. I mean, not a lot of people go to the movies as much as they used to, and everybody, but you still have movies being made. And having those movies being made in our state, and with all of the resorts that we have and all of the sports entertainment that we have, I think it just would have been just another branch in our huge tree that we're growing.
All right, let's take another break. We'll be right back with Tommy White after this timeout.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Tommy White. He's the business manager and secretary-treasurer of the Labor's International Union, Local 872 out of Las Vegas. Mark Wahlberg, is now about a month or so ago, said it's not a question of if, but when, as far as the movie studios. So you're planning on bringing this back one way or another in the next legislative session?
I believe it's going to come back. I had a conversation with Mr. Mark Wahlberg, and we believe we are both on the same page about creating movie studios in our state. So
all right.
I believe it's going to come back. I mean, you might see someone break ground before it goes back up into Carson City.
Without the tax incentives?
You might see that happen, yeah. You might see somebody decide they want to break ground and start a movie studio without the tax incentives. We'll see what happens.
Were you surprised at the ferocity of Selena LaRue Hatch's comments?
Yes. And, there's, like I told you when we were on break, I say it as I see it and I call it as I see it. And I think there's a little rift going on between Northern Nevada and Southern Nevada. And I'm not going to change the way I say Nevada. I've been saying like that for a long time. I can't just change my accent. I'm sorry. But I see there's kind of like a little rift or tiff, however you want to phrase it, going on between Northern Nevada and down south. And that goes across the board. We will not be supporting Hatch this time around. We did last time. We will not be supporting her. We just think that when you come to us as a union and you turn around and say that we're supporter of industry and we're supporter of jobs, and then next thing you do is you go ahead and throw a wrench right off the bat. I believe that was done not for what's best for our residents in our state or our constituents in our areas. I believe that was done to be vindictive.
And that's where we have to leave it. It's been a pleasure having you on the program, sir. I would love to have you come back and let's talk some more.
Right. Anytime. You let me know and I'll be more than happy to do the show with you.
All right. Thank you, sir. That's Tommy White, and we'll be right back after this time out.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Check out our archives section on NevadaNewsmakers.com. Great interviews going back as far as 2002. Really worth watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.